What up, y'all? We
Guess who's
back.
back?
Give us some air horns.
Bah, 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 bah.
Oh my God. It feels like it's been forever.
It has
Oh
been
my
so
gosh.
long. I love it. I
I'm
love it. I'm so
so
excited.
excited. I know. Before we get started, I want to play a little something
Okay,
that is going to set the tone
I'm
for
ready.
today. Okay, you
Okay.
ready? Hold on. Let me make
Drop
sure
it,
I
give
got
me
it
50.
queued up for
Drop it,
real.
give me 50.
Oh, see, because it's the commercial that came on before that would have totally ruined the movie. Hold on. Okay, okay, here we go. All right, let me turn it up. Well, girl, this is why I be feeling like an auntie, girl. Where the buttons? I just, for context, y'all, I have a new phone. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, wait. Here we cancel. What is
Oh,
happening with the robots around this place? Cancel,
yes, indeed. Don't be mad at him now.
cancel, cancel, cancel. Okay, y'all ready? Okay, here we
Let's
go.
do it.
Check this out. We about to do this getting ready, getting ready, getting ready, ready. Check this out. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Getting ready, getting ready, getting ready. We getting ready, getting ready, getting ready. I say, girl, don't you do
Don't you
that.
do that. You do
So
that.
y'all don't know who this is
Ah,
unless
Jubilee.
you know who this is.
Yes.
This is real life. If you know, you know. This is our Jubilee 50th episode.
Woo! Round of applause.
So I wanted to say that from the top because we back, y'all, and we made it.
Yay! We missed y'all.
We so did. So, hey, welcome to So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. We are two real life cousins, and we meet here and have honest conversation about things that we grew up thinking were normal, only to realize that it was actually the family recipes of dysfunction. So we talk about those things, and then we also widen the lens to talk about all the crazy things that are happening in the world, in the systems, in the culture, and everything that is going on right now in 2026. For
Yes.
context, today is August 2nd.
Yes.
2026. Okay. Just to put that what is called timestamp out there.
You
All right.
know?
But as we're here, we talk about all sorts of things: discernment, preparation, community, and always holding space for laughter and pleasure and creativity and joy and shenanigans. Because one thing we gonna do is we gonna laugh. Okay,
Please.
we gonna
Have to.
laugh and we gonna shenan again and thrice.
Again and again.
You know,
Yes.
because staying human is the biggest part of the resistance. So we are
Absolutely.
embodying that as we're here. So we are excited that you are here. You are not late, though you may have some catching up to do. We've been running marathons, so y'all
You
can get caught up
know?
on the things and get the lore. I got to tell you about the things I learned, girl.
Yes.
Um, get the lore and all the things. But no matter what, you are right on time. We're excited that you are here.
Indeed,
So my name
indeed.
Kimberland Tylin. First of all, let me pause here for a second, just for anybody that's new, because I want to say my actual name and why I say my name like that. My name is Kimberly. Okay. But people also in this world call me Kim, and that kind of that's how I know where I know people
From
from
whence the name.
certain parts that it was Big Kim energy, because people kept calling me Kimberly, which is not
Not it.
my name.
None of the
Like, if
iterations.
you want the number of times I've had to be like, my name is not Kimberly. I don't know who
I
you're
don't
talking
know
to. When
her.
you
Don't know
literally
her.
just stopped reading after the L and decided that you was gonna replace three letters. What is happening? Anyway, off of that. My name is Kimberland Tylin, House of O'Neill Jackson and Adams, empathetic energizer, intuitive, inspirational innovator, seer of souls who are hurting, healer of hearts, and voice to the voiceless. What up?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That she is. I am Kalonda of House Jackson, first of her name, assistant of entrepreneurs, beacon of banter, creator of content, dancer of dreams, excellence enchantress, and New Orleans native. Yay! Now, I usually don't get the made up names. I just get Yolanda or the spelling of it is interesting. Now, I do enjoy being in a Spanish speaking country because then I can say Kalonda, like que lindo. And they're like, oh, okay. And it
It's
helps them
close.
to like remember it and like get the letters together. So that's been effective.
Uh-huh.
I've been working with that. Where in the States, it was very much Yolanda with a K. It wouldn't get it spelled right, but it would sound right. So that was close enough,
Right.
for government work. So
Uh-huh.
definitely the name thing is a fun time. I'm sure there are people in the audience that are like, they have little tricks to help people remember who they're talking to. And speaking of who you're talking to or who we're talking to, we have certain expectations of you being here in this space with us, and you have certain expectations that you should be able to know that you're going to get from us while you're here too. So, what can you expect from us? Kim already told you, shenanan and shenanan again, and possibly thrice. But we are a hoot. We are a fun time. We are going to laugh. We may be crying at the same time, but there will be laughter at some point because it does kind of run through everything that we do. Is that joy piece? We also may use a little bit of colorful language. There might be a F bomb that finds its way into the story because it colors it in just the way it needs to be. So we let you know that ahead so you can act accordingly for your environment and do whatever feels right for you in that space. But just know that up front. In addition to those things, we're going to be as open and transparent as one can humanly be because that is our purpose here. We are not experts in everything, but there are several things that we are experts in. And the things that we aren't, we'll let you know and we'll connect you with the people that are. A lot of times, one of the expectations for you is that you interact with each other in the chat. When you're doing that, you're probably interacting with some of those experts because they are here. They're here in this space and they want to share things to help you get better, faster, easier understanding. Like, oh, let me question this, or where did that come from? And they a lot of times have access to those resources that we're referring to. So while you're here, in addition to engaging and asking the questions and talking to us in the chat or talking to each other in the chat, we just ask that you engage with the page, press all the buttons, like,
All
subscribe,
the
share,
buttons.
share, share, share again, and then watch. We just came off a wonderful marathon where you were able to get caught up from the very beginning. There were people in the spaces for hours and hours on end. I've had people say, like, yeah, there was a 12-hour episode. I was like, yeah, did you like it? How was it? So it definitely gives you some of the background and just kind of see where we've come from and where we are and the growth of our sound journey that sometimes pops back up. But whether I'm typing or not, you never know. But by all means, if anything you hear today struck a nerve, made you smile, made you laugh, share it with someone else because they too can pull something from it. And then while you're here, there are different ways to let us know that you came from this space. And Kim will tell you about that.
Yes, I would love for this to be a smoother share than it's about to be, but we'll work that out next time.
Hey,
But there it is,
it made it.
uh, getting back in the saddle, if you will, back on the bike, the things. Um, so we have emojis that are here. First of all, we want to shout out the Toasties. So shout out to the
Hey.
Toasties. That's our community here at So You Don't Put Stuff on Your Grilled Cheese. So when you hang out with us, you become a Toasty. And that, again, as Klonda said, lets us know that you are from this community. So we talk in emoji language over here, and it's a language, like it's kind of like a code situation. Again, if you know, you know. All right, so our emojis for being the Toasties are bread, cheese, and the honey pot, right? Because we've asked this question, so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese? And yes, we do. And actually, it's 11:11 right now. So I think we should all imagine our syrup on our grilled cheese right now and then make a wish.
There it is.
Yeah. Call
Love
that
it.
in. Call that in. Yes.
Yes.
There were actually some converts well, now I don't know if converts, but like new initiates, if you will, to the syrup on
Yes,
the grilled cheese
right.
world during the
Through the mail?
marathon.
Yes.
It was phenomenal. So anyway, those are the emojis. So if you'll go ahead and drop some bread, cheese, and honey into the chat, that is your toasty identification. Okay.
Amen.
And then we also have individual emojis. So my emojis are the sunflower and the crayon. And with these individual emojis, this is a way for y'all to like be like, girl, I see you. That's my girl. I love you, girl. I'm sending you all the love. You know how sometimes you'll see a post and you like it and then you keep like reading and then you want to like it again. Like this
Yeah.
is a way to like it again. You just give these emojis, right? So my emojis are the sunflower and the crayon. The sunflower because yellow is my favorite color. It reminds me of the sun. Sunflowers turn towards the sun. When they can't find the sun, they turn towards each other. Sunflowers are also the symbol for individual in Jesus. I can talk, I promise I can.
You got this.
Sunflowers are the symbol for invisible disabilities. And what was happening just now is I felt like words was just coming at me. And I was
Eh,
like, everybody
let's slow down.
relates. Okay. But as someone who is neurodivergent and understanding what that means more and more every day, I am a fierce advocate for those of us who live with things that can't be seen on the surface. And then the crayon, because there was a time in my life that was very black and white. And I made a conscious decision to color the fuck out of my life. And that's where the crayon enters. So the crayon represents boldness and joy and pleasure and laughter and frolicking and all the things that bring joy at a soul level. So those are my emojis. Cousin, please tell them yours.
Well, my emojis are the ladybug because they are my personal messengers from God, from the universe that let me know I am on the right path, I am aligned with the right people, and to keep moving forward. It's just like those little reassurances that are along the way to be like, yep, that's it, that's me, like that's from me, keep going, you're doing the right thing. As I was making the move from the States to living abroad, I would see them everywhere, and then they started to branch out to even involve people in my circle, where then I would get pictures of ladybugs that have landed on them, in their cars, on their fence. So it's just a beautiful reminder of the love that is just surrounding us all from the universe and from God at all times. So that is one. And then the other is the cobalt blue heart. I call it cobalt blue because cobalt blue is my favorite color. It just feels warm and rich, like a hug and home. And I've just decided on this side of my life that I do want to love out loud and be loved out loud and not have to question and wonder what are the intentions of people around me, and just be safe in that feeling and having that around me. So whenever you see me out in these internet streets, feel free to use a ladybug and a cobalt blue heart or any of our toasty emojis to let me know you came from this so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese universe. I I can't hear you at all, my love.
My bad, my bad. I had muted the mic because there was a garbage truck outside that is doing a lot. I was
I
saying,
think I lost you again. There you go.
am I here? Okay.
You're back
I
now,
was
yes.
saying that production is learning. I'm learning where the buttons and the things are because
Ah,
we're still
the
learning
things.
the stream, if you will. Exactly. So I was learning how to do a transition back over. But I
Hey,
wanted to give y'all some BTS behind the scenes information. Well, some of it is in front of the scenes, but just to kind of give you some insight into where we are. So we started out this journey with, I don't know, maybe 400 something subscribers. We weren't yet at 500 or
yeah.
definitely not 1,000. And that's a really big deal because we, kind of locked in like, okay, let's get serious about what's happening over here down to the YouTube because we realized that we have something really powerful here, right? So over this time, there are more than almost 1,700 of you all who have subscribed to the Minding My Black Ass Business Network. So we are at 1,687 subscribers, and we really need to just shout y'all out. Thank y'all for
Thank
rocking with
you.
us.
We
Thank
love
y'all
you
for
all.
pushing the button. Like
Yes.
it's just so phenomenal. And people are still coming, which is so awesome because in those videos I kept saying, like, people are coming, the people are coming. And it's like, where are the people? The people are here. Hey
They're
y'all,
here.
what y'all
They're
doing? Type of thing.
here.
So it's been really cool to see that. So want to acknowledge that and thank you for the celebrations. Y'all can tap the screen too. That gives us love and stuff. So right now we are on a monetization journey, not with the subscribers, but with the watch hours. Okay, because
Yeah.
this is the thing with the watch hours. This is the BTS information I'm trying to hip you to. You have to have so many watch hours within a certain amount of time, and so it's a moving target. So let's say you
Mhm.
have like a really big video and you were almost there, and then things fell off. So then that only stays for so long, and then it goes away. So we had these marathons over the month of July while we were on break, so that we were able to, one, give you all the opportunity to follow our journey from the beginning and collect the lore. Again, I'm talking about that in a minute. But then also it helps us with the watch hours because
Mm.
it's like binging. You know how y'all be binging things? Like you could binge what we watch, what we talking about. And we was
Right.
talking good. We
Get
was
some good
talking
talk.
real good. I
We did.
had my notebook and I was taking notes. Like, I'm like, oh, we was talking real good. And it was really interesting to hear us talk about things then with no idea of what was going to
Oh,
happen in the
no.
future, and then to watch how things played out. Like it's a good time. It's a good time. So anyway, right now we are currently 674 watch hours away from being monetized. Okay, so what that means is I'm going to continue running marathons this month. So in between, we're back live, but the Sundays that we're not live, we're going to have marathons. We're also going to do a From Auntie with Love marathon on the
Yay.
last Sunday of the month. And now we're back live. So your show is on. Now you got to
Yeah.
mark your calendar and be like, oh, they back. All right. So for all of the things, just to make sure, get our calendar, synchronize our calendars. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. We are here live. Okay. We need y'all to mark your calendars, turn your notification bells on, subscribe, do the things so that you can be here.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's also going to help. And then when you're here, we need you to come into the chat, y'all, and talk to us. We're here. The
Oh,
community is here. Like, come into the things. Okay. So, all of that, those are free ways to be able to help us. You can literally put it on in the background. All
yeah.
of that helps. And if you have multiple accounts and you're able to do it from multiple accounts, that helps too. Okay.
Please.
Um, but all of those small things add up. And so we're seeing the progress. Our watch hours were up like 400%. And so watch the things, y'all. We're a good
Yeah.
time. All right.
It's a
So
good time.
wanted to underscore that, and also underscore Kalonda mentioned, share our content that helps people find us, and it helps new people find us. We have a lot of different programming over here at Minding My Black Ass Business. So you might not want to hang out and be a toasty, but you may want to go and hang out in one of the other spaces, right?
Yeah.
And we have new spaces that are coming. So get the people over here, all right? If you would like to be a guest on So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese, you can do that. Okay. The first thing that we need to let you know is that you get to taste syrup on your grilled cheese. And so I was
You're welcome.
telling you during the marathon, there were a
Yes.
couple folks who were like, oh my gosh, I've never tried this before. Like, tell me, how it would go. And I was like, well, first we got to start with the bread. Okay. We had
Right.
two sourdoughs and a brie. I mean, not brie.
Ooh,
What is called
brie.
brioche? Brioche. That's
Okay,
what it is.
brioche. I was like cheese.
But then, but then,
But
yes,
the cheese.
somebody
Yeah.
wanted brie for their cheese on their
Oh.
sourdough.
All
Okay,
right.
I want to say it was like a brie smoked cheddar combo, if I'm not mistaken.
That
With
really leans into the sweet
she
savory of it all.
said she said not maple syrup. What's the regular syrup? Not maple. It's something else. I don't remember. But she was like, but not maple syrup, just like pancake syrup, but you know how like steams, if you will,
Is
versus
king.
Aunt
Right.
Jemima type thing. I can't remember what she said, but it was a particular type of syrup. She was like, that's the only kind of syrup that I like. Then somebody
Huh.
else was saying that they had a black owned syrup company that
Oh.
they wanted to use their syrup because there she go. Kismet J just popped in. She was the one said it was
Hey,
a. Wait, can you put the name of the black owned syrup company that you said Kismet J that you was gonna do for your grilled cheese sandwich?
Miss
See, that is
Mochelle.
Miss Mochelle's syrup. Michelle. Okay, Miss
Oh, Miss
Michelle's
Michelle.
syrup.
Okay.
This is a black owned syrup. Okay, so
There
we
we
was
go.
talking down to the marathon about these syrups on these grilled cheese. So what I'm telling you is, if you choose to come and be a guest with us, then you get the opportunity to do an interactive taste test situational and walk us through your grilled
Your
cheese
process.
situation. Okay, it's the whole
Yes.
thing. It's the whole
You
thing,
think
and
it's
it
little till
matters.
you start to do it. And then you're like, oh, I do have very strong opinions about how to cut this bread. Like,
How to cut it, how to pour your syrup. Because are you a pourer? Are you a
right.
dipper?
A
You know,
dipper.
all of this matters.
It
All of
matters.
this
It's
matters.
all
It
a part
all
of the
matters.
experience.
It's a part of it. So you get to have that experience and then you get to come on and hang out with us and yap
Yeah.
it up and yap it down and kiki and have the shenanigans and all the things. So in order to be a guest, you have to email mindingmyblackAssBusiness@gmail.com with the subject line, let me on there. Okay. That is how you apply to be a guest on here, and then just get ready for the adventure
Yeah.
because then it's a
Ooh,
phenomenal time from there.
fun
Okay.
time. Come on through.
Okay, are there any more announcements that needs to be said before we get into the things? Let me think.
Let's see. Let's see.
I don't think so. Make sure y'all have liked the video, that you have tapped the screen, that you've left, that you've said hey in the chat if you're watching,
You
if you're
know,
able,
I
okay, and
swear.
that you invite somebody to hang out with us. Tell us where you are watching from. You know the things. Talk to us, okay? Okay. So, girl, we've been gone for a month, girl, and
Yes.
it felt like well, maybe it was
A
more like
summer.
5 weeks or so, but girl,
It
July was the longest year.
But it
Was it
felt
long
so
for you?
fast though. It
Did
like
it?
certain weeks were long. I feel like I had 2 weeks that felt like a month. And then I felt like 2 of the weeks felt like 3 days. I was like,
Mm.
whoa, where did that time go? But there were 2 weeks that it felt like real slow, real like, oh, okay, I can get a lot of stuff done in these hours. Like the days feel a plenty. And then they got the hell out of there. They said, I'm out.
She said the days feel aplenty.
A plenty.
Listen.
Look,
Oh my
not for
God.
you.
It was the longest month
Wow.
ever. It felt like, oh my God, it was so much. You know what I once wait, before I even get into, I did forget to say something, y'all. Wait. I
Okay.
wanted to tell y'all, one, join the archive, because this is where I've been.
Yeah.
People like I kept getting messages and people are where are you? And I'm like, I'm
Ah,
in the archive. Okay. So I know this thing. Let me, if I put it like this. Okay. So if you
yeah.
join us in the archive at patreon.com/minding my black ass business, that's where we be at. That's where things be happening over there. Okay. So we getting that together. So I wanted to remind y'all of that. But then I also want to give y'all a chance to take a picture of this calendar.
And
Okay.
see about that.
Because this way, hold on, let me move things
But
out the way. Hold on, y'all. I got to find where the buttons at. Hold on. Okay, we'll be right back. Take a picture of this. All right. That should have given y'all time.
you
Okay.
got your snaps in. Get your snaps in.
Right. Get your snaps in, okay? Because there's a lot. Oh dang, I didn't put this down. Hold on. God dang. Listen, I'm gonna put it in the archive. It actually is in the archive already, and it's a free post, so anybody is able to see it. But yeah, y'all take a picture of all the things that we have going on for this month because there's a lot. So yeah, July felt long as hell. Um, it felt like I don't even know how to describe it. It felt like I was on a roller coaster, but a dark roller coaster.
Mm.
And like just just slunk
Just,
around, just
just
slunk
yay,
around
with no
in the
idea.
dark, in
With
the
no
dark,
idea. Which one is
flashing
that? Space
lights,
Mountain?
baby. I
That's
don't
Space
know.
Mountain, right? That's the one
I
that
don't
Disney
know.
in the dark. she's, like,
I
she's
don't
like, sure.
remember. I don't
Yes.
even know if I've ever been on Space Mountain. I don't know. But
Oh,
what I do know is I was getting slung to and fro, okay, over this month. Um, oh my God. It was so
it
much.
took you through, huh? She said,
It took
and
me through
breathe.
there. It took me through there, took me
Jeez.
through there.
Uh,
It took me through there. But I was so happy that I had the month off
uh,
because I needed to not have to be like on screen, hair combed, like looking halfway decent to the people. I needed to not have to do that. So I was able to like just hunker down.
be.
It's like I had to hunker down, like it was the strap in. It's finna
Here
be
we
rough
go.
through here,
Right.
because that Mercury retrograde was going on. Also, wait, there are so many things that I have in my mind. I want to show you something else. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me find it. I linked it. Okay. Is this it? Or is this it? This is it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, wait, hold on. Like, where's the volume? And how do I turn this? Okay, all right. Share this tab
Like
instead. But
magic.
then I gotta go back to the other one. Wait,
See?
y'all. Production, where are you?
She said, it is here. I have it.
Gee Willikers. Okay, share this tab instead. All right. Did I get that right? Okay, there it is. Okay, this is what I want to show you.
Okay.
And Kim is also appropriate in this space. And it has been my idea for a long time to have a podcast with you, dear cousin. And so I would like for you to tell the people who you are and what were your thoughts when I was like, so, and also, we should do
Uh,
a podcast.
Well, it was more deer in headlights. Of, are you sure you called the right person? Um, no, I was absolutely excited to do it. You had been talking and trying to get me on the side for a while. You and some other friends actually were like, you need to do this, and I was like, I don't know. But then I realized, you know what, we do say a lot of things that are really interesting and exciting and funny, and I think that there people would resonate with it. Um, and it's just real because I get nervous and I get flustered and I'm like, wait, what was I saying? I lose my train of thought. So luckily we help to kind of balance each other out and bring bring it back to cover everything. But I like to say, who am I? I am the first Kalonda, first of her name, House of Jackson, assistant of entrepreneurs, beacon of banter, creator of content, dancer of dreams, and excellence in tantra, and New Orleans NOLA native. So
Not the New Orleans NOLA. I did the first one with both. All right. I can't hear you. Can't hear you, boo.
Dang, I keep muting myself. These doggone trucks outside. Um, no, so you hit them with the combo. Like you really had to let them know the things. But I was thinking about it because while I was being slung to and fro, and hither and thither, okay, I was
Child,
I was
not the
getting through
feathers.
getting slung through. here. Okay. I was also watching the marathon.
Mm.
And so I'm like listening to us back in 2024. Um, processing and figuring things out, and then now sitting in 2026, I'm like, this is crazy. We really came a long way. So it felt like, strap in. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
take you through a lot, but I'm also gonna give you time to appreciate the journey, because it was some slinging up and through there too. It
For
was quite a bit.
sure.
I was talking
Yeah.
about Mercury retrograde, and we was talking about Mercury retrograde a lot. It was like, hey, nah, this is a lot. When they
That
were popping
microbraids
up,
are
and
too tight.
baby, I need her to go braid stylist, girl. Cause girl,
Can you do
you ain't had to
crochet? Can we
you
do
ain't had to take us through that like that.
something else a little
You ain't had to take
easier?
us through that like that, girl. Do you? It ain't had to be all of that. But
Teach
yeah,
that.
so it was like this juxtaposition of strapping. That's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be bumpy. We getting ready for turbulence, like all of that, and also at times, wow, this view is really nice. Like
Yeah.
it was interesting. So that's the short of it. That's the short of it. I'll,
Yes.
I'll get into more in just a second. But I'm curious what it feels like for you to see that first, because this is our 50th episode. So
Yes.
what it feels like for you to see that first clip there, and then also how would you summarize what this time has been like for
What
you?
this time has been. Well, before I even do that, I laughed. I want you to know I laughed when we were like, okay, we made 50. I was like, that is a very New Orleans way for we make birthdays around here. Like you don't turn them, you make them. And
Yeah.
so we made 50. All right. So I love that. That made my heart smile, all the good things. But I just want to point that out. But yes, seeing it, listening, being able to hear many of the things that were like just ideas and like hadn't even started to be plans, just kind of like hearing the conversations where things got sparked and
Mm-hmm.
going, wow, that's a reality today. Like that is something that is active and living today. Was just really impactful. And especially in these moments now, as you're on this journey and setting up your plan for the next year, it's like it gives you an opportunity to see I am creating these things. Like these are dreams, but
Mm-hmm.
they are real. Like it's not just a, oh, I had a thought and yeah, that sounds nice. Or I was talking with my friend and my cousin and like it sounded good in the clip, but it just sat there. But no, there was real
Mm-hmm.
action and intention put behind a lot of these things, and many of them have come to fruition or are actively in
Yeah.
production right now. And I think that's so powerful. And as much as I fight it, it really does speak to the testament of keeping the receipts and keeping the records and taking the account and having something to go back on and see like, okay, this is where I was in this moment. Like um I've been doing, I thought I was finished with my journal and then I started doing more work on it, and one of the things felt really really small, of just like picking colors and stuff, and it just wasn't right, and I'm just reworking it, and I got to a place where I was like, oh, okay, I like this. And then when I looked at it, it almost, which is, anyway, I don't know how I got there, but like it almost brought me back to the very first color, the color of the paper journal, but like
Mm-hmm.
just a newer version of it. But that wasn't where I wanted to start it. And so I didn't like start it as a remix of that colorway. So just being able to have access to the origins of so many things, is really helpful, and just being able to kind of see where you were and where you
Mm-hmm.
are and give yourself time, because we talk about processing, and we're always, looking forward and, how do I fix this and how do I, fill this gap, I've identified this space, like how can I help, or let me take a look back and see like what I could have done differently for a different outcome. But living in that moment of look at what I did, Like,
Yeah.
let's just take a moment and identify what is happening right now and appreciating that. And I think it's something for me that I know, like, I continue to work on, because everywhere else is just anxiety of the present, the future stuff, and then regret possibly of the past stuff, and that does nobody any good. Like, the
Mhm.
life really is in the today of it all. So being able to look back at the marathon and see it, and like even hearing that first introduction of, oh well, all right, sure, I'll come talk to you. Yeah, we just gonna talk and chill, but seeing like the impact that it's had, and having people tell us, individually at different moments, like that we helped. And that's really what we wanted to do. It's
Mhm.
like, how do we have the conversations? How do we invite the people in to ask the questions, instead of being the kids in the room that, like, the conversation was happening around you, but you weren't involved in it. And it was never really encouraged for you to ask the questions. And here we're like, please, like, tell us what doesn't make sense. Stop me if that doesn't, resonate, or you want to know more about it. Like, I think there's a real strength in that, and there's a real power in it. And then there's a lot of responsibility in saying, like, yes, I want to help you and be in that position. So
Yeah.
it's been great.
It's multi-layered. It's quite a bit. But I definitely echo. We started this to be a voice, and talk about those things. And what I've heard consistently is, man, that was a good conversation, because on one hand, people are like, yeah, I'm gonna help you get monetized. I'm gonna turn the things on. I'm gonna have it on in the back, whatever, da da da. But then to also be listening and
Mhm.
actively talking and participating, and like, oh,
Yes,
that's interesting. I never thought about that, because also we got that ADHD, and you never know where the conversation is gonna go,
child.
which is something else that I realized watching myself. I'm liable to say any damn thing. I
You never
said,
know.
I'm liable to say, girl, I be cracking myself up so bad, because you
It
just
just
never know what random thought is finna come into my mind. And also know, though, that these are the filtered thoughts. These are the
right.
ones that
That's
I'm
just
like,
what I said.
is it
Okay, I
okay
could
to
say
say
that.
this publicly?
I think it's all right. And then even while you're saying it, you're kind of like, ooh, well, it's out there now.
I am so ridiculous, but also I be so serious.
But it's the
So I
truth.
was cracking up at that the entire time, because I think there was one of the episodes, and I was like, I'm embracing that I'm an auntie, and what that looks like and sounds like, and how the auntie shows up, and what kind of auntie do I want to be, and like all that. But when I was doing research about the 50th episode, it said 50 represents Jubilee. Right now,
Hmm.
mind you, neither of us are 50 in age
No,
yet.
not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. Lord willing, we'll
Um,
get there. And the creek
Amen.
don't rise.
I am looking forward to it. Lord willing, the creek don't rise.
I
I
said
am
that the
looking
other day.
forward to
Bianca was
it.
like, "You so southern." You so
No, I
country. She
realized
might
how
have said.
southern I was, or country southern, that
Right.
when we were doing the boundaries module in
Mm.
Discover Your Destiny, and I was
Uh.
like, yeah, so this is the yard, and this is the porch, and I was
Right.
like, I grew
They
up in the
probably
South,
don't.
y'all.
Right.
I'm like, this is the sidewalk, this is the stoop. I don't know, I don't
Where,
know how this
where's
works.
your lobby? I don't know. Where are you living? How do you get there?
Oh my God. But also I really love that the boundaries are set up in a neighborhood,
Yes.
because
Yes.
every
It's
time
a
it makes
clear
more and more
picture.
sense. And we get different interpretations of it. But yeah, so
I love it.
anyway, very much Southern. Very much. So anyway, 50 is represents Jubilee.
Hmm.
And historically, in biblical days and such, it was a time of liberation, restoration, and return. Debts were forgiven, people were freed, land was returned to its original owners. It was a time of reset. So the number 50 means coming home, and it carries the energy of completion of a full cycle and the beginning of something entirely new. It's a
Go
number of
ahead.
grace, freedom, and new chapters. So So I'm curious, what do you feel like, and it may have been for me, because again, combined with that Mercury retrograde situation, this Mercury retrograde. Also, let me just, I'm not an astrological girly like that. I don't be knowing the things like that, but also I definitely understand it as a science. And therefore it makes me very curious about the things. Okay. So I kind of
Right.
be talking like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't, but also I kind of do. Okay.
Yeah.
So with this Mercury retrograde, it was in Cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and it was supposed to center on like emotional endings and endings of chapters, and then the
Mm-hmm.
creation of new and like
Right.
transitioning into those new spaces. And then I feel like it was a full moon, which may do the same. I don't know about the moon.
It was
I
like
feel like
a
you know
super
more
moon or
about
something
that.
like that.
Oh, was
Well,
it? I
I
missed it
know the
all.
last one was like a super moon or something, but it was like it was all the things, and
At
Cancer
the
is
same
already an
time.
emotional sign, and like the home house kind of thing, if you had to put it in that type of words. But it's about home and about stability, and about the emotion, that a lot of people tend to express. So with Mercury in retrograde, just meaning that the planet is moving backwards is essentially what they're saying. That it is affecting all of those pieces. So things of your home, how you see it, your level of comfort, it's all impacted with that shift in that energy. And so you do usually see, different relationships ending, or relationships that have ended, people kind of come back in. It's like a little spin the block moment. And you have to decide very much of, is that a door that you're wanting to reopen, or proof of why it closed in the first place, so you can move on with
Yep, all of that, child, and all of that was going on, girl. All of that was going on, girl. It was crazy the type of people that was coming back. Kalonda, I'm talking about people I ain't heard from in 10 plus years.
That's why. Like, what
Why are you
happened?
here?
What
What are you
happened? Who
doing?
sent you?
Absolutely not.
Who sent you?
Access denied.
Because nothing has changed. Nothing's changed.
You ain't led with no kind of like, hey, I was tripping
It
hard as
just be
hell. It
like,
took
hey,
me
big
10
head.
years to get my life together. And, I'm over. It was like friend requests. Let me start liking your status. Hey, get out of here.
Like,
Get
why?
out of here.
Why?
And
Why are you doing
mind
that?
you, these are not even romantic interests that I'm talking about
Right.
right now. These
Yeah.
are just people
People.
that
People. Yeah.
have been around and exited. It was all of that going on, girl. It
Yeah.
was so interesting. I was telling
'Cause-
somebody about all the things that were happening. They were like, girl, you dealt with life, death, and love all during the month of July. Like
yeah.
I was I was getting slung.
It's, it's because the thing is, like, while you're going through that process and you're kind of shedding it and going, okay, yes, there was a reason this ended. There was a reason this chapter is beginning. Like, you're seeing it and going, okay, I got the confirmation. I understand. For them, they're seeing and reckoning with the loss and like the
Mhm.
closing of the chapter with you. And so then it's like, oh, well, hold on. Like, I missed XYZ things that were provided or available or whatever in this relationship, and
I
now I don't
bet.
have it. And so now they're
Mhm.
like, oh, here, let me step forward and bring that back, where you're
Mhm.
like, oh no, I very much realize why that ended. Like, I'm good, thank you, have a great day. So it's always interesting to see how it pops up, because you are actively like closing and making your decisions going on, but so are they. And a lot of times
Yeah.
it's based on the lack of access that they now have to you. Yeah.
Yep, exactly that. And like those exact words. It might as
Mm,
well have been. It's like
right.
I miss having access to you. I bet you do. Remember when I told you that you was gonna lose access
That was
and
the
you was
consequence.
gonna feel that? This
Right.
is you
That's
feeling.
what this is that.
I know. I'm not surprised, like not at all, a little bit. So that
Yeah.
was really interesting. It was a lot of that. Damn, girl, this the tea I told you I wanted to tell you, girl.
Oh yeah.
So remember, you wait. So I gotta make sure we on the same page, but
Okay.
also I'm talking
Okay.
to them. I'm talking to the people that's watching. I gotta make sure that me and Kalonda on the same page so she know what we talk about. But then if you wondering what I'm actually talking about and all that, y'all gonna have to go get them archives. Y'all gonna have to go see the thing.
It's
Okay,
enough.
so you remember I did that panel.
Yeah.
And so and I had done a couple panels. Okay. So I'm moving. I've said
Mm-hmm.
that publicly. Okay. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm moving. So I'm going through the list of where people are and like who can I contact to, who do I know that's on the ground wherever I'm trying to go so I could
Right.
get some inside information, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm on my YouTube page, because mind you, when I watch YouTube, I watch it on another page that is
Mm,
not my actual page. Because if
gotcha.
I don't need y'all to see what I'm liking and all that kind of stuff, like mind your business. But I was actually on my YouTube page because I was intentionally watching things to let people know that it's me, so I could leave comments
Yeah.
and all of that. So, girl, a live video comes up, okay, and I ain't talked to, you know who I'm talking about.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I ain't talked to old girl in a minute since that last panel that I did.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just to catch everybody up in regards to that, I was on this panel and the behind the scenes getting ready for the panel was not organized. And I said something and they did not like that. Okay, so I haven't talked to them since then. I didn't know that they didn't like it per se. I felt
Mm.
funny energy, but I didn't know which direction it was coming from. And also, I said what I said, and I was correct to say what I said. Like, so
That's
this
what
is my
happened.
experience, and this is
Right.
what happened in my experience, and this is your real time review of what my experience was like. But you can accept that or you
Do
can
whatever
reject
you
that.
want
Like,
with it.
that's on you,
Right.
right? But I
Yeah.
am communicating that was inconsiderate. And so in the future,
You
maybe
may
you
want
might
to
want to
do
consider
something
this.
differently. Yeah.
So anyway, so I ain't talked. This has been maybe a couple years, honestly, because that panel, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we were in the apartment at the
The
Queen,
first. Yeah.
and that was 2024.
Yeah.
20,
Yeah.
yep, because we left there February 2025. So that
Right.
was
Mm-hmm.
2024 when that happened. So I ain't talked to her since. Okay. All right. So
Rest
she
in peace.
pop up on the YouTube page. So I said, oh, let me go in and see where she's at. Right.
Yeah.
So she's in a pool. She's in a swimming pool. And um okay, wait. Where do I insert that? Okay, let me just say this. So she's in the swimming pool, she's talking, she's got her phone. Okay.
Okay.
And she's talking to people. So I get in there, maybe she's been on 7 or 17 minutes or something. Not a lot
Oh,
of
okay.
time, but also not a
But
little
not just
time.
starting. Right.
People are
Yeah.
in the comments, you've been talking to people, whatever, right? So I come in and I'm like, hey, it's so good to see you online, because again, algorithms, and I don't really be on this
Right.
page, and I don't follow people I know in real life from the page that I actually watch YouTube through. I don't need
Right.
y'all coming through right now. I'm trying to get my learning on and things, right? So I said, oh, it's so good to see you online. So she says, oh, let me see what the comments. Then she said, oh, somebody said, it's good to see you. Yeah, y'all. So something, something, something. And I was like, that's interesting, but okay. So
It,
we keep, because this is also one of my favorite things to do, is watch people's faces when you
while
come
they're
into their live, like you leave
ah
the comment and then you watch them read it.
yes.
It tells you a lot.
Interesting.
So I see her read the comments. Somebody said, okay, cool. So I peep it. I don't really say nothing. Okay, girl, you want somebody say it. No problem. I do that sometimes too. Right?
Right.
Okay. So then I leave. So then somebody else leaves comments and oh, my sister so and so is here and she said da 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 da. And y'all need to get with her about X, Y, Z, A, B, and C, right? Okay, cool, cool. So then
Classic.
she started talking about food because how much weight she lost. She was like, I
Oh,
lost so
okay.
much weight because the food is real. And I was like, yeah, like real food. I've also lost a lot of weight. You right, that.
Yeah.
So then she said something. I want to say she maybe said somebody else is coming or something. So mind you, at this point, I've said like three or four things. Then she says, y'all, if I'm not reading your comments, it's because the sun is in my eyes and I don't have my glasses on.
Girl. What?
I wish I could pull up the video and show you what was happening because the live chat got the replay on it. I wish
Oh
I could pull
my
up the video
gosh.
right now and show you and y'all what happened. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you later. But girl, what? What?
I mean, there's so many opportunities to just not say anything, to
Not
just,
say anything, just block me because remember I told you they linked over there to that expat cult,
right.
the Mean
Correct.
Girls Club,
Correct. The other
right?
side. Yes.
To the expat Mean Girls Club. And so what I noticed is that the people that were in there, they're like, that's my sister. That's my sister. And yeah, girl. And also they're on that big like we living it up here. You know, we here we got penthouse and rooftop pools and blah blah blah. And I'm not on that type of energy at
It's
all
like,
in
okay,
any way, shape, or
yay.
form
Right.
in any way shape or form because it is very much it's centered in consumerism and it's
Yeah.
centered
It's like
in
elitist on top of it too.
there you go, that's the word I was looking for, elitist. And so I don't be on that, right? Like
Yeah.
I really don't. Also, side note, bitch, why my rent done went up $100.
Girl,
I moved in because this dollar is
this
falling. Because this dollar is
dollar
falling.
down.
Because this
I
dollar
even, the
is in the
dollar,
gutter.
girl, I was like, what the hell? Then the other day, Bianca sent a picture for, was it the euro? Might have been the euro in Colombia too. Same thing. Like
Tanking.
just tanking, tanking. And I mean, this impacts every day, everything. Like literally, nothing changed. Same apartment, same lease, same dollar amount or peso amount paid to
Peso
them,
amount.
but your bank account has a very different feeling. Like it's an impact
Woo!
at least $100 and in a short period of time, like short. It's very interesting to see. And we talked, speaking of things we talked about in going through the marathon, we've talked about this of like the whole dollar destabilization. Hello, there were missing syllables in there, but it definitely is what is happening because at some point, because they are actively trying to do it, it will not be the global currency. And that is an active plan. And we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing the effects of that now. So it's like, when I'm gonna take it back a half a second and then we'll come back there too. With them, there's nothing wrong with a penthouse. Penthouse me, Sunday brunch me. Like I wanna hang out with the girlies and the cute dresses and the clutches and do the things. Like that is fun. I love that. I love it. It's a great time. I want to put my makeup on. I put makeup on yesterday and I felt like I hadn't done it in forever. I was like, when is I have not seen myself with makeup in a really long time. I was like, I need to do that. But I'm also enjoying myself at the beach and it's hot as hell. And sometimes I don't want my mascara all the way down my face. But anyway, when you present, we talked about it, y'all. We talked about the tangent. When you present living outside of the country as this is what it looks like, you're going to always have this killer view of the ocean, or you're always going to be in this exclusive space. It makes it paints a very not unrealistic, but it makes it like moving out of the states is already a hard leap for people to make, and it's not something that they see as attainable already. And then when you leave and then make the same thing of like, let me just show you all these beautiful places without like the pictures of what it looks like to really live in these spaces, it sometimes acts as an unintentional barrier to people going, oh, I can do that too. Because you may be showing them this penthouse and they may see that and think, oh, well, I can't afford to live there either. Living in Austin, Texas is kicking my ass. There's no way I'm going to be able to go to Myanmar, let's just say, and because they don't know what that correlation looks like. They don't know the dollar to that local area's currency is, that maybe it is only $700. Like, we don't know that. So sometimes putting out this glamorous picture of what life looks like can also create a barrier, because then people just automatically go, I can't afford that. Like, that may not be something for me. And that's not always the case. Like, there's a way to show what's really happening, of like, yes, you may live in the penthouse, but you might not have power 3 days out the month because they don't have it,
And
or
that definitely be the
water.
part that they don't share, is the real life side of it. But it also, I feel my thing is, why is that what you're leading with? It's
Right.
really giving me,
Right.
I left there so I could come up on somebody else's dime, and so I could pretend like I'm queen of the world and I'm out here and I'm gallivanting and I'm doing, it's giving passport bros from a black woman perspective. And it just really, it does, it sends me, it really does something in my spirit,
Yeah.
like bad.
Yeah.
So I wanted
And
to
yeah.
shout out to Lumbradita. Also, y'all go follow her. She has
Yeah.
her own page.
Amazing.
And follow each other. Y'all getting here, and one, if you're watching and you ain't in the chat, get in the chat and meet the people. Two, if you're in the chat, meet the people that's in the chat and y'all exchange information. All right. Now
Yeah.
Lala has she has her own podcast that she started. But the question says, speaking of these terms, would y'all be comfortable sharing your perspective on terms like immigrant versus expat? I do not consider myself an expat. I try to avoid using expat language as often as possible. I also try to avoid using like digital nomad and things like that as well. I am an immigrant.
Right.
I am my in the experiences that I have had since I have left the US, which I flowed through the expat channel and was
Hmm.
like, yep, these are not my people. Let me get on out of there. Like, because it's a natural place of entry when someone is leaving. But an expat is a different mindset than someone who is an immigrant,
Correct.
in my opinion. So I'll pause there. What about for you?
Yeah. I think when I first left, I don't know that put I honestly put a lot of thought between the two. But then as I was preparing to leave and then seeing the differences, it was like, okay, I see it. But I think it probably wasn't until maybe as early as like last year, like middle of last year, where I was like consciously saying immigrant, or even like people. There's a video I have on TikTok talking about Uruguay, and a lady had reached out to me, and we were talking back and forth, and I said, other immigrants, and then I said, or expats, um, however you identify it, because
Mhm.
I'm not gonna yuck your yum. It's just not. I know that there's a word for this, and again, we talk about this too. Words mean things. Like, an immigrant is an immigrant is an immigrant. Having the privilege of being, and for anyone wondering why there's a question between the two things, um, being being able to say expat is because there's privilege there. Like, people will wrap it up in a bow of, oh, well, that's different because I'm coming from, I can't even, that's a whole nother thing, but from a Western civilization, like, depending on who you're using as the center to determine the,
Mhm.
the directions, but whatever.
Mhm.
From a Western civilization of, I have a choice of, I want to go explore this country, determine if it's a good fit for me. Is there enough fresh seafood and beach life that I enjoy, or they make my favorite brand of coconut water? Whatever your reason is for picking a place and saying, this is my new home. Um, with that privilege, people tend to go, well, I'm an expat. I chose to go here. This is what I researched and I decided. Immigrants are people who don't have a choice. They didn't have opportunity, and they're coming to a place. um, to use their resources. And it's like, that's not, it's the same. You're an immigrant. You're in a country that is not your home country. Like, it's that simple. But we
Mhm.
put these different titles on the same thing because it feels better, because the picture of immigrants have been painted as a bad thing for so long that then it's like, oh, for you to do the same thing, we need to call it something different so you don't
Mhm.
feel like you're in the same umbrella. But we are in the same umbrella. We are
Mhm.
immigrants. We are immigrants in these countries. These are not our home countries. And in some cases, we are hoping to make them a second home and hope to be able to stay in these spaces longer and adopt, as much of the culture that we're allowed to, because it's not ours, like to be able to participate. Like, we want that, but there's a piece of, it's not ours. We are immigrants in these spaces, and there's I think it requires a lot of people to actually say that are in those positions, instead of just saying, oh, well, I'm an expat. Now, don't get me wrong. I am also, and have always been, a lazy gifted kid. Expat is shorter than immigrant. Oh, we got the wind going.
It's
I
serious over here.
love it though. I love it when I can hear it. It's like, makes me think of like right before a hurricane. But yeah, I think it requires us to be able to say that. Like, yes, I am an immigrant. Like, and that is what it is. Just like I'm a black woman. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, there's no derogatory connotation that should be assigned to that word.
Hmm. So there are a couple more questions here
Hmm.
that I wanted to grab. This one says, "How do the local people in the cities you're in receive you as an American immigrant?" First of all, I do not identify as no American. I do not say that. I don't. You don't even hear me. I barely even reference the word America unless I am using three Ks when I'm talking about it. So that's the first thing, and that's what I was gonna say too. Is like I feel like there's a mindset difference in someone who is to the privilege that you were talking about coming as an expat. Again, it often for me seems to come with this consumption type of attitude.
Hmm.
And I'm using this space, and when I'm done using the space, I'm moving on to the next space because I have the
Right.
privilege to do that. Whereas for me, an immigrant, um someone who is moving about the world, whatever that looks like, as an immigrant, is coming with a state of wanting to be a part of community and
Right.
find safety and find home.
Hmm.
But to that, how do people receive me as someone being from the US who is an immigrant? I've had amazing experiences from the local people everywhere that I've been. So I was about to say, with the exception of Dominican Republic, I didn't like it there. I was in Santo Domingo. They just, it's a different culture. It's just a lot there. But in Colombia and Mexico, I always tend to be with locals. So,
Hmm.
because I don't like hanging with expats. I don't like it at all. So I'm usually with local people, and I'm learning the language, and I'm trying to understand and learn their customs. They like, girl, get in here and let me show you the things,
Hmm.
girl. Let me
Yes.
teach you how to do it. That's how I fell in love with Dia de los Muertos, because my
Hmm.
orthodontist, I was like, I really want to, know and understand. She was like, girl, take out your notebook and let me tell you what you need to do. And so I feel like when we move with a spirit of, I am wanting to know you and know your culture and understand who you are. I'm not coming here to use you up and spit you out. That they are
Right.
very much receptive. But if you come in as an American,
Right. Right.
that's a
And that's
different thing.
different.
I don't move
Yeah.
around the world as an American. I just so happen to be from the US. And most days I try to avoid saying it as much as I can. I've even told people that I'm from Cameroon.
Yes,
Like,
indeed. She said, you didn't say when.
I'm not
My
proud to
people.
be an American anymore. I used to be. There was a time in life, and there was a question here, was like, to consider yourself an expat, don't you have to
Oh, be
what
a
it said, don't you
patriot.
have to be a patriot to be? I used to be a patriot, and also not at all anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah, it's
what has it
very,
looked like
very
for you
heavy,
with the local
very
folks?
heavy on the intention and how you are interacting with people. When I went to send the package for you, there was this sweet guy who came in the line, and we're just talking. He was like the sweetest abuelo I've ever
Oh,
seen
I
in my
love me a
life.
an
Girl,
abuelo.
abuelo. He was so sweet because he came in. I'm gonna just paint the picture. I'm standing in line, and then all of a sudden, I just smell pineapple, and I mean like a sweet pineapple, like like you can smell it, like smell the fruit. And I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh! And so I turn around, and this guy standing behind me with his pineapple in a bag or whatever. Okay, fine. So then he like moves over to the side, and I'm talking to the guy, and I'm saying something in Spanish, and then he asked me in Spanish where I was from, and so I was like, Estados Unidos. And so he was like, oh, okay. So then he starts to talk to me in English. So, but I'm still kind of responding a little bit in Spanish because I'm like, no, I need to learn it. Like, I need to
I
do
need to
it,
practice.
like,
Yo necesito
correct,
practicar, porfa.
please. Like, don't, we can work. You can practice your English and I'll practice my Spanish
Sí,
and
sí, está bien.
we can,
Puede hablar, you are able to, puede hablar en inglés, pero yo
in
necesito
English.
hablar en español, porfa. I really
See,
need to, please.
perfecto. Exactly. And so he said, because he said something. What did he say to me? Because he said, something about America. And then at the same time, because he went to correct himself, and then I went to say, we are also like, you are American.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
and
mhm,
that's a big
mhm.
thing, I think, being in South America is like people from the States will come and be like, oh, American, 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 but meaning North America. Because South America is still America. These people are still Americans. Like we
As is
don't
Central
own that.
and Latin America.
Central, Latin,
Mhm,
Canada, like
mhm,
all, But
mhm.
so it was just cute because he did that. But then I was telling him that his pineapple smelled good, and he's like, "Oh," and he looked so sad. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I already bit off of it. Do you want some?" And I was like, "Oh, you are so sweet." This
No,
little man was gonna
but
give me a
thank
bite of
you.
his pineapple, but thank you. It smelled amazing. I'm like, but no, you're fine. But yes, like I find that you frequently have more experiences like that where people are just curious. Um, and they want to help. If they hear you trying to practice your Spanish or learn your Spanish, or you're like, is that correct? I always mess up like that tastes really good because I get tired of saying muy bien, and I'm like, sobracito, and then but
Oh, you
I'll
can
like
say que rico. They like
que
saying que rico.
rico.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, but I said something else the other day, and the cashier was like, what? And so
You're like, no, I was
I was like,
trying
okay,
that
that's
out.
not it. I was like, no, espérate. And she's like, and then I said, sobrecito. She's like, sobrecito, sí. So then we like laughed about
Okay.
it. So it's like they want to help if they see you
Yeah.
trying to learn, I think, but that goes with anywhere, if it's a different country, if you're in a different state or a different neighborhood, if you come in stank and act like you own it, then that's what you're going to get checked. But
Yeah.
here, I don't put myself in a position where people have to check me. Like they're usually very helpful of like, okay, what do you need? Like, where are you going? Like, reach out for this or like talk to this person or like, it's been very, very welcoming everywhere we've been. If anything, it's just more curiosity, especially in places like Uruguay where they were like, why here? Like, there's nothing here. Why do you want to come here from
Valid
America?
question.
Because because a lot of people there
Don't
want to
know.
come to the United States, and we're like, yeah, no, you
And
don't.
that's what
Like,
I'd be like. I'd be like, los Estados Unidos son muy peligrosos.
like no,
Para
you
las
don't.
personas negras, no,
No,
no es
no bueno.
buen lugar.
Shit.
No, no me
Don't do it.
gusta. Mm-mm, no.
So that's been my but yeah, I feel like they receive us well. I haven't had issues. I'm not saying that they're not there. Um, because even here in Santa Marta, um, because it is a tourist destination in certain regards, like the places where we live sometimes do have access to things that maybe local people and indigenous people from Santa Marta don't have, or it takes longer for them to get. So it's like educating myself and understanding how that fits, of going, oh, okay, there are days like literally they'll send us a note and be like, all right, no water for the next 18 hours. and plan your life accordingly. And I'd be like, damn, okay, let me figure out what we got to do. Like, whatever. All right, fine. But then you'll talk to someone from here who may live out in like the Sierra Mountains, and they may be like, it's been 2 weeks and I haven't had water. And so it's like, okay, perspective. Like, this is what I am still living in privilege and afforded a life that people who are from here don't have access to. So how do I move and live in this space without negatively impacting them anymore? Or is there anything that I can do to add positive impact with what I'm doing? So there's just so much curiosity that has to happen in order to make it not exploitive when you're in those spaces.
Yeah, I agree. Another question was, do the mean girl expats seem like they don't respect or try to be a part of the culture? Exactly that. Are there language classes or something in the expat groups? There might be
It
people in there
depends.
that teach language. I learned through, this is not sponsored, through Duolingo and through talking to people. I've only taken one actual Spanish class, and that was when I got the lesson about American, because we were working on introducing ourselves, and she said, and do not say that. I said, noted. You ain't got to worry about me, girl. So yeah. Okay. So, this is the other thing. So while we're sitting here nerding out on this, I discovered that I was a nerd over the marathon. I did not know that.
Oh.
No.
You never considered yourself a
And
nerd?
you're surprised by this too, because everyone that I've told has been like,
well, and not so much like you aren't because I think you are. You are. I'm saying you didn't think that because I think I am a nerd because I think I am. Yeah.
Okay.
So but not necessarily thinking.
That
but I could see. I could see why someone would say that. I think you're very smart.
I can see it now.
I feel like you're very curious and intentional about the information you seek out. Like, so to me, when people say nerd, I see why they use that umbrella. Like, I could see why we would both fit under that umbrella together. Yes.
I've never thought of myself as a nerd until the marathon. Kismet, Jay, and Rolando were having a conversation. Oh, because I was going to tell you about the lore. So it's called lore. Did you know that? Did you know that lore was
like the origin, like the origin story lore of the beginning? Yeah.
I ain't know that. And I don't be reading like that. So I don't know nothing about lore, right? So I come to find out why they was in there to the marathon. They was like, "Ooh, we collected all the lore," and I was like, "That's what it's called." And then they had said one time they were like Nerds Unite or something, and I was like, "Yay, are we?"
And you were like, "Am I in that? Me? I'm in that."
I never thought of myself as a nerd, like real life. And so I remember you saying before, I feel like on an episode you were like, but I also went to school with a bunch of nerds, so we were all nerds. But you went down there to the nerd school.
You don't feel like this is so like funny to me.
No. Listen, prep was not prep. The school
outside of school. You were active.
Let me cook.
Okay,
let me go through my process now.
I'm so confused. Go ahead.
Let me go through my process. Okay. Now this is what I knew. I knew that I was in the honors and AP classes. I know that. Okay. I knew that I was always top of class, graduated valedictorian 8th grade. I knew all of that. Okay. But
don't forget your science camps and concurrent enrollment. I just want to help you paint this picture.
That's fine. Science, Saturday Science Academy, and Science Summer School, and all of that. Okay. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. My idea of what a nerd was not me. Outside of the glasses.
Because you were
cool. I'm from these streets. You understand? You see how all that come full circle? I'm from these streets. So what is you talking about? Nerd. I cuss you out right now. Also,
we were free to move around.
So I could go do my homework. You feel me? I ain't got time for this. I got to get out of here. I got to go to
You know?
college, you know. But I never, I never thought of myself as a nerd. So while they were having the conversation, I was like, "Oh, we us, we nerd. That's what my people at over down to the
Yes.
nerd spaces."
Yes. That
I
is
never did.
hilarious. So a couple things. Yes, did see the comment about the airport mod. They were not helpful to my mom in the airport in Spanish. Bless her heart. The
Oh.
but she said she didn't see either one of us as a nerd, which is funny because she is also one. This is so interesting to me. This is so interesting. And I guess, okay, maybe I feel like I feel like one, I was told that often. Like
That you were a nerd. Who told you that?
told that, so like I feel like in elementary school for sure, like other kids would be like, oh, nerd, nerdy, whatever. But it also
Did you
came
wear
packaged,
glasses?
yeah, since I
No.
was
You
like
wore
7.
glasses when you
Yeah.
was little? Don't be acting
7.
like you be having glasses on your
I
face
mean,
for
I
real, because
don't
you
have
be
them
moving
on
about.
right now. But yes, I was supposed to. I was blind as a bat at 7.
Wait,
Yes, you
your
are.
mama is having an awakening right now in the chat.
Yes, ma'am, you are. She, hold on. This is so funny to me. Okay. Yes, at 7, I was wearing glasses. But also, part of it too was I think kids back then would very quickly tell you, like, oh, you talk proper and you sound like a
Yes.
white person.
Yes.
And, oh, because I would carry books in my purse. Like, I was reading, like,
You
whenever
were
I
a bookworm.
could. And
You
so it's
were.
like,
You was doing nerd
it's
shit.
like I'm gonna get the pizza. I'm thick because I got all the little free pizza pans things from Pizza Hut. Like you read the books. People
Oh
wouldn't
my
do
god.
the little book marathons with my mom because I was reading 20 books at a time from the library. So it
And
was
they had to
like,
pay up.
and they had to pay up. That only worked one time, and then that didn't work no more. That was just she was gonna have to pay it. Like I don't know what to tell you, but the yes, no. So to hear both of you be like, nerd, me? Like, yes, very much.
I
And
had no
because
idea.
my picture, because originally what I started to ask you was what was your picture of a nerd? And so like even with me thinking a picture of a nerd as like Urkel from like Family Matters or something like that, still applies. Like very sciencey, very smart, still was able to pull the really pretty cute girl, like to hold a conversation, like they were well rounded. I don't know. And
I
then
never saw myself as Steve Urkel outside of
that's
glasses.
that's so funny. Like, but
Even
I
when
don't
my
know.
glasses would break and I would have to tape them,
Tape
I
them.
still was this because we're poor, not because I'm a nerd. We can't afford to get new glasses. So listen, Lubradita, girl, if you saw my teeth when before I had braces 3 times in my life. Okay, my teeth used to be doing a lot. I and people used to tease me about my glasses, but also they used to tease me about my glasses and they would be like what they would say that I had 4 eyes. They would tease
Mm-hmm.
me about my lips being chapped, but also I'm gonna cuss your ass out and I'm finna get this A on this test, so stop playing with me. And I'm pretty, get out, and I
Yeah,
got a big booty, get out of here, stop
all the
talking to me that
things.
bull.
All the
But
things. But
no,
I
I
feel like in
never.
elementary, I definitely was like told that I was a nerd. And I knew my mom, like, she had bookcases she was reading all the time.
So you
Like,
always thought
I,
your mama was a nerd too
yeah.
when you had.
I mean, she was always smart. Like, we would, like, the stuff that I know about like the medical field or like
Mhm.
randomly is because I would be helping her when she's working. Like I would help her with her flashcards and I would watch her create her notes and like organize this stuff and like I would see her when I'm sitting in the office when she's like doing the chart reviews and I'm like watching her do this. I'm like, yeah, you smart. That's a nerd. That's fine. But like I also have a different picture of it too because of the high school I went to because it was a magnet school but we were like, not we, I wasn't, I don't think, but like there were the cool kids there too. Like
I was
the
cool.
cool
You were definitely with the cool kids. What are you talking about?
I was with
But
the
you weren't
cool kids.
necessarily the
I don't know that
cool
I would
kid.
actually
I
classify
agree.
myself as the
Same.
cool kid. You know what I mean? Like I hung
Mm-hmm.
out with them. Like we could
Mm-hmm.
talk, we hang out, we were friends, but I don't know if people were like, "Oh, Kalonda, she's that cool girl." Like if they hung out with me, they'd be like, "She's cool," like she all
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but
I
like,
agree. Same.
I saw all of that. So to me, like after a while, nerd wasn't bad. It wasn't like a
Mm.
bad thing. It was just you were really smart. It's like, okay, yeah, like if reading and passing tests and knowing things and being curious about them makes me a nerd, then okay, like that's what that word means. All right, cool. But that's what it
I
is.
don't
But
know what
that's
I thought
funny
it
that you
meant.
never. So who did
I
you
thought pocket
picture?
protectors, awkward, acne, unpopular, outcast. Um, I'm just brilliant. That's
Well,
all.
yeah, yeah,
But like I don't know. I real life just had this realization the other day. I said, "Damn,
love
that's
it.
crazy." So then I asked Elbot. I was like, I said, "I just found out I'm a nerd." He said, "Oh,
He said, "That's news to you, huh?"
you're just finding this out." That's why when you gave your reaction, I'm like, "You are having the same reaction." But then I was telling Shekinah, I said, "I just found out I was a nerd," and she was like, "You're definitely a nerd." And I said, "What the hell you think you are?"
I
She
mean,
was
you
like,
literally
"I'm
are like,
cool. I was a
I am a
cheerleader."
scientist. But
I'm
cheerleaders
like,
can be nerds too,
I
like
was the
that.
co-captain of the freaking dance team.
Yeah,
Like,
like
and
we're
I
all
was,
nerds.
I'm cool.
We're
Like,
actually
what?
blurs. We're black nerds. So
Yes,
there's the
yes,
yeah.
yes,
That's
yes. We're blurs
it's fun.
officially.
And then
Um,
I think it's awesome to see it now because back then I think it was used as like a less than, not cool, awkward, you're not fun. And then over time, I think there was like a stripping away of it because it did show like because there was a time where as a black kid you were only expected to like certain things and anytime it
mhm.
wasn't a part of the mainstream then you were ostracized. So then it
Yeah.
was like seeing like kids that were into anime, kids that were into
I
skateboarding,
never
kids.
ran across kids that were into anime and skateboarding in school. Like I
Oh
didn't. No.
yeah, yeah,
And so
like
that
that.
would have been nerd shit for me, but like I'm just now learning about anime. I just told you I just learned about the lore over the weekend. Like I was never I was never in those circles. So I was never
Right.
around people that like had outward nerd tendencies, I guess, for me to be like, oh, I like this too. I must also be until now.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't know till now. It's a great place.
Yeah.
Welcome. We've enjoyed your company your whole life. So glad to have you here. Oh wow, that is
That's
funny
it.
to me. That is funny
That's
to me.
it. What you got on your list?
Girl, I think we covered it. Because I know you gotta go through, but there's yeah.
No, we got 20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes. Let's see. What can we play with? Um, so one, I told you I've been working on my
Your
app.
app.
So anybody who
Mm-hmm.
is
Bring us up to
currently
speed.
using the app, thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. The feedback is very helpful. I make changes essentially in real time as much as I can. So that you are able to access the things and work with them in a way that is helpful to you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I created a Wildly Joyful Life app. Um, and when I say app, it's an app, but it's not in the app store yet. We're gonna claim that for ourselves.
Hello.
But it does live on the site www.thewjlj.com, the Wildly Joyful Life Journal.com, basically. Um, and it is what helped me come back from burnout and just kind of or not even kind of organizing my life and my thoughts as someone who does not use planners. I am not a planner person. I am not an outline person. The worst thing you could do to me in school was
We was
ask me to
just talking
write an
about
outline.
outlines yesterday. You don't like
Hate
them.
them.
I didn't like them
I
either.
will write my paper and then get you an outline because I don't write like that. I don't. My brain doesn't do that. Like I can't tell you when I sit down, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about, and then these are the three pieces, and this was my thesis, and this is how I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't know that yet. I'm gonna start writing. I'm gonna correct it as I go, and then when I finish, I'll write you this funky ass outline. Like, why do I have to do this?
Not the stank ass outline.
I hated them. I hated. That's double work for what? You want the paper? Why do you need the notes before the paper? Why?
I appreciate them now, but I
No.
hated them in school so much. I was just telling Shekinah this the other day. She was like, "Oh, I love an outline." I said, "I
Oh.
couldn't stand having to do them damn outlines."
Awful. Oh my God, awful.
Look. I was about to say, look at your nerd mama talking about I love outlines. But after the body. See, I got that, and see, that's how I be using it too, is I got to get some things down, then maybe I could go back and be like, okay, let me organize it now. Yeah, I used to hate an outline.
I'm gonna write them. I'm gonna just write it. You want this 5-paragraph essay? Great. Here we go. Enjoy. Like that's where it is. But I'm like that. I am very much we gonna show up and you gonna get what I got. Like it's here. It's gonna come out in the way it need to come out. But if you want me to do it beforehand, it's gonna be very interesting if the actual output is what I said it was gonna be anyway. So, there's that. There's that. But sorry. So I'm a person who does not live in planners in real life, like normally. And so going through that process of just trying to discover who I was, what I was outside of all of these titles that I used to have, and just trying to figure out even where I wanted, like what I wanted my life to look like. I was able to create this journal, and there was a paper version of it that I created back in 2024 when I was in Colombia. And so I wanted to remix it so that it would be available if people wanted to have a mobile version to keep with them and be able to, interact with it on their phone or on their computer and just kind of make updates, but also to integrate the use of AI. Because I do think there is a value there if you're using it responsibly. We can have a very long conversation about AI all the time. But that it would allow people to ask a question of AI or give a prompt and then kind of get a meaningful dialogue that maybe helps you think and organize your life in a way that gets you closer to your dream. And so I've been able to work to get that organized and even better now, because literally the other day I was testing something and it sent me a prompt and I answered it about like just fear and wisdom and just trying to understand like where is that difference of knowing like, okay, I have this message, I have this, directive from God of like what to do, and in the season of uncertainty, like when do you say, okay, I need to make a plan B? Like does that happen? And then in thinking that, does that plan B show up as an absence of faith? Like it doesn't mean that I don't believe or trust that that's the right answer, but I also have to prepare something. Like what if the work is in that preparation? Some stuff you feel the answer is just sit still and do nothing, and then sometimes you have to be like, but I need to know what do I do? But anyway, in asking that question, it kind of led me to a whole different path of how I wanted to do things. So if you are actively using it, the app today looks a little different than it did on Friday. So, but it's fun, and like seeing it grow and change and get closer to what I ultimately hope is something that people are able to use forever. It's just really exciting to see, and seeing it modeled after like what we call the traveler's notebooks. I would show you mine, but my laptop is sitting on it.
I be trying to be so serious.
I mean, it's true.
Kalonda got what you call an Africanly engineered laptop
Yes,
setup situation going on over there. So the
it
journal
works.
that she's referencing is currently operating as a
It's
laptop
giving you this
stand.
good angle. It's giving you this good angle.
It is. It
Okay.
looks nice though. It looked real
Thank
good.
you. See, more uses than one. But the, the traveler's notebook lets you take inserts in and out. Because also being neurodivergent, and we like to collect notebooks though, because we're jotting down thoughts all the time, and you may have Lord knows how many at any given time. It makes it easier because it's like smaller pamphlets that you can put in and pull out, and as you fill them, just put in a new one without having to start over with a whole new journal system. But understanding how much of that mimics life. You have your different chapters. You're finished with a section, it's removed. You're starting your new section. What does that look like? But having the app live in that space. So that is happening. I'll continue to develop it and continue to give you guys updates. And if you are interested, then by all means, be looking out. There will be a webinar to give some more insight onto how it was created and how to use it and live in it and all that good fun stuff. Then I did watch the interview with Amanda Seals and
Come to
Tasha
find
K.
out, that was recorded back in December.
December. Yes. So watched it. I watched it and then I watched her live after it, or a clip
Where
of
did
her
she
live.
do this live at?
I have no idea.
It
It was
came up.
when
You saw it on the YouTube page. That same video came up for me, but I'm trying to figure out if that live happened in the Patreon.
I don't
But
know.
I haven't been getting any notifications and things. But
Uh,
come to find out, that was recorded back in
but
December.
because at the very end of the interview, she asked Tasha when it was going to be released, and she said, "Oh, around the first week of Christmas." And so I was like, "First week of Christmas? Like, why did it take this long?" But I guess she had released it behind the paywall in her Patreon existence, whatever have you, and then just recently released it because of all the stuff with Cheyenne Bryant, I believe, and to get kind of piggyback on that traction of having Amanda Seals' name in there. So there were so many layers in that interview. I enjoyed it. It was very like from the beginning, literally like the first thing of her saying like, well, you're an angry black woman, or why are you an angry black woman, or just framing her as an angry black woman to start the interview seemed like a choice and an odd one to make of
It was
someone that
definitely a choice.
was already hesitant to come on to your space and said that their concern was that it wasn't going to be a safe space. And the first thing you hit them with is people think you're an angry black woman. And it's like, first off, I am, and why aren't you, and why do we do that to black women, or why do we do that to people? It is okay to be angry about things that you should be angry about. You should be very upset that our education system is in the trash, that uh friggin' I just lost the word of it completely and we were just talking about it. Holy cow. But anyway, but that our political systems are awful, that there is no representation, that we aren't able to eat food in our country without being sick. Like, you should be angry about all of that. It's wild to then paint that and then take away someone's voice because you feel they're angry, when what you really want is this respectability piece that gets no one nothing. Like, it gets you nothing because you're
It
never
just
going
keeps
to be
everybody in
good enough.
line.
Exactly. You're never going to be good enough for someone to give your dissenting opinion a check mark to go past. Like, they don't want you to say the things because it's going to alert a lot of people to act differently and behave differently, and that's going to be to the detriment of these powers that be. And so it
Right.
was just so interesting to hear her start the interview that way, but then at least to see even in that Amanda still was like, okay, let's just go through. I'm gonna answer the questions. I'm gonna try to guide her as a host as best I can, for the people in these spaces that do need to hear it, because it very much felt like the intent was like, if you just change how you say your message, more people will hear you. And it's like, but again, to the root of it, why does it need to be repackaged? why does it need to sound nice? Why can't it just be what it is? And so, like Bianca and I, she hadn't seen Black Mirror, and so we're watching it again
The
with her,
whole
which
thing. I've never
the whole
seen the
thing.
whole thing
It's
either.
so good. I
I've
enjoy
only seen
it because I'm
episodes
a
here and
nerd.
there.
um, but there's one episode where Miley Cyrus is in it, and she's like a star or whatever, and she doesn't want to do the character basically that they have her playing anymore. And her aunt, who's taking care of her, is like, "Look, there are thousands of people that are out there waiting for the you that they love." And that like stood out to me so big,
Mhm.
of like the you that they love, not for
Mhm.
you,
Not you.
but like this
Mhm.
version of you that
Mhm.
they have
Mhm.
decided, I love this part. And that's all I'm open to hearing, acknowledging. Anything outside of that is wrong. And it's like, in this case for Amanda Seals, that is her. Like, if you appreciate her and her message, that is the package it comes in. That is who she is, not even a package. Like, that is her as a person. And because we've gotten so used to and have been, I don't know, conditioned to like want to put people in certain boxes and certain packages that are palatable, we expect people to then like dissect themselves into these little spaces that make other people comfortable. It's killing us. It's killing us. It's
Mhm.
not fair. And it's like you wonder why people are like, oh well, they seem so different. And it's like you, you make it where you have to be. In order for me to be safe out in the world, I have to seem nice and quiet and safe so I can be safe. But then I need to go home and recharge for 7 to 10 business days because
Mhm.
that's exhausting.
Mhm.
So it was just like so many different things. So just like seeing that piece of it, of her saying like, this is just me. Why can't I just be me? And the people that need to hear this need to hear it regardless of the messenger. The information is
And
there.
if they cannot receive it from me, then let them go to somebody else that they can receive it from, because I'm
Correct.
talking to who I'm talking to.
Yeah,
I'm talking to who I'm talking
exactly.
to. I'm talking to the people that are able to receive what I'm talking about. And if you're not able to receive what I'm talking about, then go find somebody else that you can receive.
Right.
But the level of vitriol and energy that is put into expecting, specifically in this situation, expecting Amanda Seals to change and contort. Like, that was definitely, Tasha K was like, but people need to hear you. Well, if they can't, then they need to put themselves in position to be able
Then
to hear.
listen. Then listen.
Because
Because to
I
be like,
said
oh
what
well,
I
you
said
need
and
to
I
be
meant
on
what I
the
said.
ground. And it's like, who said I'm not on the
You don't
ground?
even
And then for
listen.
your sources to be the comments, bitch, what? Like, well, the people in the comments say horrible shit all the time, every day. Like, this is your source? Like, this is your
And that's why I'm
source.
glad that Amanda Seals has the Seal Squad. And she knows
Right.
that there are people who actually ride for her. And there are people that actually are listening and supporting and learning and exchanging ideas and all that. I really feel like that's one of the best things that she was able to do for
To create for
herself.
herself.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like, even I had told you, I was like, I don't want it to ever come across like someone's name is being used for likes, clicks, views, blah, 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 whatever, right?
Right. Right.
Also, I rise with Amanda Seals. I really do. And I appreciate the level of critical thinking that she has inspired, not just in
Yeah.
myself, but in many other people who have had the ear to hear, you know.
Yeah.
And there were times that it was difficult. I even when October 7th happened and
Hmm.
the awareness of the Nakba and all of that started coming about, she was talking about it consistently. I had to get off of Instagram. I was like, it's too much. I can't take it. And
Yeah.
right now, I'm trying to recover from a mental health crisis. Like, I don't even know what's going on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But the
having
information
the
was there.
curiosity having the curiosity and the willingness to be able to go and see now what you're talking about now.
Right.
She inspired me to start the Frolicking Truth because of being a truth
Mm.
teller. So it was really interesting to watch. And I'm tired of people trying to do the bait and switch. I already don't fool with Tasha K like that. I
Right.
don't like messy people.
Yeah.
I'm not, and she messy. She always in some mess,
Yeah.
and that was even before the Cardi B situation happened. Whenever she would come across any of my understanding was behind some mess. You just sitting here being loud and talking about mess the whole damn
Right.
time. Girl, go
Well, and
find
that's what I
something
was
else to do.
surprised. I was surprised to hear, one, because of, knowing her for being with Mess, and then two, some of the people that she has aligned with, that from, at least, I don't, obviously I don't know Amanda Seals, but like from what I've seen of her online, who she has aligned with, I've seen Tasha actively go against. So it was very
And see, I don't
interesting.
follow Tasha's content. So, well, one,
Well,
I wouldn't have,
it wasn't
and
like her content. It was just more like, for T.S. Madison and that
I don't
DL
follow.
Whisperer, that well, that's a whole different thing.
I don't know.
But
That's what I'm saying. I don't know nothing
okay,
about none of that.
yeah.
So I wouldn't have even
I was like,
known.
this is an interesting pick. But then that's why that video that came up after of her live, where she was like, if I had known the things that she was talking about, even just about me, I wouldn't have done
Yeah,
the
she
show.
would have never went
And
on
I was
there.
like, okay, I
Yeah.
appreciate that, because I definitely questioned why this vehicle, not understanding that audience, there are people in that audience that needed to hear that conversation,
Hmm.
even if it was just on the neurodivergence piece, the political piece, like just in general, there were definitely nuggets that could be gleaned from it, that I think people would find very valuable. But that platform with her specifically, it made me tilt my head a little bit, because I'm like, oh, like I thought,
Hmm.
something else. So it was good to hear, like, hey, that wasn't having a wayback machine. I would have done it differently. I wouldn't have done that show.
Correct. In
Yeah.
hindsight,
And that's all you can. That's all you
um,
can. Say. All
that's
right,
all I
cool.
can
Now
do.
we know.
But
Right.
I feel like despite it all, it's still like you said, Amanda shared nuggets that needed to be shared. Rolando,
Hi,
why you
Rolando.
just get here? We finna go. I definitely feel like Amanda had the opportunity to share things that needed to be heard. I
Yeah.
also don't think we should ever go over there again. I don't know. I'm not her,
No.
but I don't think and I don't know nothing about Tasha K. So when that second video popped up, I said, now don't start sending me YouTube
More
down
Tasha
this
K
Tasha
stuff.
K. I don't like that girl. I don't know. Like I'm not doing that
Yeah.
with her. But I think we can all from this really learn and stand on business. Like it's no matter where you go, and that's what I appreciated is that
But
she was
stand
standing
on
on business.
business. Oh yeah, she stood on business. But it's like there was one pinned. There's a pinned comment on Tasha's video of
Hmm.
like somebody saying, um, I'm not even gonna watch the video. I already know
Yep,
she's gonna
I
like
saw it
all this stuff. And
because
I'm
I went in
like,
the comments because I'm
right,
looking for people. This is what I want y'all to know is I go in them comments because I'm looking to see who I know that's in them comments talking crazy. Because if you talking
right.
crazy about Amanda Seals, you talking crazy about me. Okay, because a lot of the things that she aligns with, I align with. So I get to see how people think about me through how you think about somebody else. I be in them comments. I saw that.
Yeah. Or at least to not be willing. So you went in with a preconceived notion, but here you had the source. You had the source to hear it from her mouth, how she says things. But you came to the video, typed up a comment, and then left. And then eventually, after enough people were like, "Oh, you should watch it. You should watch it," you're like, "Oh, you're right. I probably
I
should."
guess I'll
And
actually watch it. Get out
and
of here
it's
with your
like,
ignorant
but
ass.
why would you not be
Because they're
curious?
ignorant.
Why wouldn't you want to know if that's your feeling? Um, if that's your feeling about this person, like have it proof for sure. Because then you can be like, I don't fuck with her because she said this, this, and this. But if your
Right.
sources are somebody said and you can't tell me where they got it from or that they even got it from her, like that's an odd chance and choice to make when there's a lot of knowledge to be had. And again, it's not even if she doesn't align with you politically or you don't align with her politically, that's your business. I mean, that's not also a choice and odd to me, but even just on the understanding of yourself from a neurodivergence or neurodiversity standpoint, or understanding self-diagnosis and why that is diagnosis and why that is valid. Like
Girl,
that's a
these are
conversation
people
that
that are
needs to be
talking
had.
about COVID is a hoax. This, you know, that people, we finna go. But that's what, like, they really, I don't know what happened. I ain't been in the world lately. So I don't know what happened with Dr. Fauci and all of them and carrying on. But these are the same people that are saying, well, COVID was never a thing. People didn't actually die. Like, it's people that's actually gone from out of here. And y'all talking about it wasn't real. Like, these are those same kind of people.
Yeah,
So, to the point, you have to, when you keep saying curiosity, a lot of people don't own
don't have it.
curiosity. A
They
lot
have
of people
audacity.
don't,
They got a lot
they
more
damn sure
audacity
got
than
audacity. They damn
you.
sure got audacity. And be sitting here talking about things. That's what I think was just most crazy to me, is to have access to the source and then watching people actively refute what
Be
the source is
obtuse.
saying.
When
Like,
she
then
said the whole,
also
go ahead.
having behind the scenes access to the source
Hmm.
and the reality of what's actually happening, juxtaposed between people saying something else happened. Like, it's just, it's laughable. It would be laughable if it
If it
wasn't
wasn't real,
the state of, like, and it wasn't
right?
somebody's real life. Like, that's the thing
Correct.
that pisses me off. I'm like, this is a real life person.
A
And
person.
so even while all of this activity was going on, I was just so grateful to know that Amanda was in a space of peace,
Hmm.
and you know, she was insulated from all of that,
Yeah.
because it's a sickness at this point. Like,
Yeah.
it's a
And
sickness for people to be
unfortunately, she
like,
knew it going into it. So she went into it knowing, like, okay, at least for that particular one, that you could tell, like,
the hesitance of granting the interview, you mean?
yeah, and just knowing
Mhm.
that this is not a safe space for me. But then still
Mhm.
taking that challenge and putting herself into it and hoping that
Because
it
she be
would be.
wanting to teach, because she be wanting to
You
teach and
know, like
wanting people to
hoping in
learn.
hoping that it is. And then when it wasn't,
Yeah.
she's like, okay, well, I know what to do. And
Won't do
even at
that
the very,
again.
very end, when she was like, oh, because you like toxic something. And Amanda was like, that's what you got out of that? And I said the same thing out loud. I was like, that's what you heard? And
Oh
I
my
was
God.
like, what is going on right
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
It's
Let me go on
crazy.
the
But yeah, I was about to say we finna wrap it up, but I did want to say Kismet J said the track that she's making is fire. Amanda's making, she's making something about it.
I
And
love it. Oh, I love it. I can't
it
wait.
is very fire. It is very fire.
Yes.
She let us
Oh,
hear it the other
right.
day. Yeah, it's really fire. But yeah, so we'll see what happens in the world over the next 2 weeks. I was
Over the
about to
next
say
2 weeks.
in regard to this. I hope that Cheyenne Bryan is done by then, where I don't even want to get into her and just deal with her. But I hope that she's done by the next 2 weeks, so we don't even have to entertain saying anything else about
Sure.
her. When we what's today? Today's the second, so we'll be back on the 16th.
Yeah.
And I want to remind us, we didn't have an Asking Auntie today and rabbit holes and like all the things, because we ain't been here. We had to catch up and on
Need to
all the
get
things.
back.
But next episode, if you have an Asking Auntie that you want to submit, please go to tinyurl.com/asking auntie. Asking Auntie is the section where you ask us for advice and you let us know. I know I gotta stay out of there because I'm like getting distracted. Y'all got to be in the comments. But anyway, so Ask It Auntie is a part of our show where we get we you write into us for advice, and then we share what our advice is, as well as the audience is able to share as well.
Yeah.
So you can do that again, tinyurl.com/asking auntie. So we'll be back on our next episode with our Asking Auntie. So if you have one, go ahead and submit it. And then we'll be back with all the other random things that are happening and going on back into the world.
You know.
So we're back live on Wednesday. So I do want to invite you all, if you're not already, to join us in the archive. So if you go to patreon.com/minding my black ass business, that's where we are. We're creating in there is basically what we're doing, building out universes. We're also planning a really big event. I'm not gonna announce it today. I'm gonna announce it Saturday, this upcoming Saturday on the Frolicking Truth. I actually have two really big announcements on Saturday. So the Frolicking Truth is back live on Saturday, what is it, August 8th, 8/8.
Yes.
The Frolicking Truth will be back. So I have two big announcements that I'll share there. And then we'll be back here on the 16th for the next episode of So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. Thursday, co-working is back, and co-working has moved over here to YouTube. So co-working takes place from 12 to 2 p.m. with myself and Shekinah. So make sure that you come and hang out with us, get your projects and your things done and stuff with us, and listen to us chat it up and be in the chat and, doing the things and hanging out in community. On Wednesday, if you are in the archive, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we have Just Ask Kim, and that is our space to learn, to plan. That's what we're going to be doing, is planning this event. And to ask questions, right? So you want to be in on that as well if you want to be in on the behind the scenes things. Tell the people where they can find you, please, cousin.
You can find me on Instagram at Kawana Bear. I was like, who am I? KAWANABEAR. You can find me in my business, Visionary Executive Network, at Visionary Executive Network on Instagram, and the website visionaryenetwork.com.
Love it. And I'll be in the archive. I'm in the archive. I was about to say I'll also be on Instagram. I'll be there, but I don't really be there. But make sure you've connected with me there. But
Yes.
I'll be in the archive. So patreon.com/minding my black ass business. That is where I am. If you are looking for me, make sure, again, you've liked the video. Make sure, if you're watching us live, if you will, after this, go in and leave a comment, even if that comment is just some bread, cheese, and honey pots. That helps. So if you'll do that for us, and then share this with somebody else that you think might appreciate it. Okay.
That's it. That's
All
all.
right.
We
That's
did it.
That's all, y'all. We are back and looking forward to seeing y'all again soon. Okay. All right.
See you next week for the marathon.
See you next week for the marathon. Okay. Bye.